Hey guys, welcome to another video on the Inside Spurs channel. Happy Thursday afternoon. I hope Hope we're all enjoying a good day. The weather's looking pretty decent outside, so hopefully wherever it is that you are, the weather's looking decent. Obviously, in this video, we're talking about, as you can see on the thumbnail, as the title, we'll be talking about Emerson Royal. He gave some quotes talking about first team football. We have an update on the deal with AC Milan, as well as what AC Milan are doing with Yusuf Fofana, a centre back, all sorts. So yeah, plenty of stuff to talk about. Obviously, we talked about England last night winning, so we'll talk about that as well. So plenty to talk about, plenty to get into. Just want to say that if you're watching this and you're new, subscribe. You're very much welcome to join us for the journey. Afternoon, Tottenham. Afternoon, was worried there was no stream, Andy. Wow. Sorry, apologies. I'm a few minutes late. There he is, England. Nice. Must be hungover today. Oh, no, sorry. It's Nanny Day. That's right. Terrible him. Terrible, mate. Hi, Andy. Seems quiet on the transfer front. Well, we'll talk about it. We will talk about it, Simon. Hope you're well, mate. Hope you're all good. Another final indeed. Another opportunity. Ollie Watkins, a striker we could do with. Would be nice, Simon, wouldn't it? Would be nice. Hello. Wondering where the stream was as part of my schedule now. Wow. Appreciate that, Les, mate. It's nice to be a part of your schedule. But yeah, apologies to everyone. I am late. It was time on Thursday. Thursday mornings, obviously, dog walk, gym, see my nan. So yeah, she's in fine spirits. She was very happy about the England game yesterday, and yeah, she was in good spirits today. The plumber was coming around to sort out some stuff, so she thought I was going to be the plumber at the door. She was disappointed to see me. Southgate for next Spurs manager, anyone? That's too far, Simon. That's too far. Big Ange will have a word with you in a minute. Good morning, Andy in chat. Congratulations, England. But thank you, Robert. Appreciate that. It was a lovely, horrific second half. I was sitting there, edge of the seat, clenching my bum. I was like, oh, God. Oh, Ollie Watkins. Ollie Watkins saves the day. We're singing for England. Hey, go on. Yeah, there you are. Hit the likes, everyone. Thanks, Liam. Yeah, hit the like, obviously, if you haven't already. Appreciate that. How's Nan? She's good. She is good. Right, let's jump in. Let's talk some transfers, because that's what you're here for. You're not here to talk about me. So I'm going to talk about the Emerson Royal situation. So if you're not aware, you've been living under a rock. AC Milan are quite keen on Emerson Royal. They have already agreed a contract with him since May. So it's been now a good 6 weeks at least that contract's been agreed. AC Milan somewhat playing hardball. And you'll see why in a minute. But he was talking. He said, this is literally from the man himself. He said, I want to play on a regular basis. I don't want to sit on the bench. I've always been professional, but I also told the coach at Spurs that I want to play. Otherwise, I've got to look at other options. AC Milan, it's a reference for all Brazilians. There's a lot of Brazilians that have played for AC Milan over the years, actually thinking about it. So that was what his quotes were, right? So from Fabrizio Romano, he sort of followed up a few hours later saying that AC Milan keep working with confidence on the deal to sign Emerson Royal. No agreement on the fee yet, as request remains for over 20 million euros from Spurs. AC Milan's initial proposal was lower than 15 million euros. Next one expected to be higher and get closer. A 5-year contract was agreed in May. So look, they're working with this idea of, they're being confident. They think we're gonna get the deal done. I hope you do. I hope you do, AC Milan. I hope you do get this deal done. That would be lovely, mate. But you've got to somewhat come to the table with a legit offer. You're talking about an offer of like 12 million. When Spurs said we want 13, you offered 12. Okay, you work to negotiate, you come up with a better deal. You set the bar higher than what he's actually worth. They set the bar lower than he's actually worth. And somewhere you do this. You do that little clap, right? Little crocodile clap. Clap, not crap. I don't know why I said that. And I don't know why I've done that. That looks horrifically weird. But the deal will get done. I still have faith the deal will get done. Now, obviously, they were talking about Matty Cash. He's way more expensive than Emerson Royal. It won't be him. But I do have some talk about AC Milan, some fan perspective about Emerson Royal, and also some other moves they're doing which could play a part. I also want to talk about Genoa and Spence in a minute as well. She asked me to mention no girlfriend, Andy. No girlfriend. She actually didn't mention it this time. She didn't mention work, because she didn't mention a lack of girlfriend, which was, for once, very nice. It'll get done. Next proposal will be more, and it'll probably be accepted. Yeah, I think, Madsy, it'll be one of those where AC Milan offer a little bit more than what they offered. They offer something probably more so to what Spurs want, and then they kind of get a deal a bit more suited to them, where they kind of say, well, this is what we want the breakdown to be. We want to pay over 5 years. We want to do a little bit of this. We want to put a little bit less up front, that kind of thing. And I think Spurs will probably bite on that one. Levy ball. Oh, God. Happy days into the final. Referee did his favour for a change. You know what? I don't think I think the referee's performance was a little bit overblown. The penalty's a bit skewed, but it's a foul anywhere else on the pitch. So that, I get that. I don't think he was actually that bad. I think he actually tried to let the game breathe when he could. Holland's got some pretty soft fouls given for them as well. And, so I don't think he was that bad. Could he have been better? Yes, obviously. Afternoon, Sonia. How are you? As well, Daniel. How are you, mate? You're right. Sunday is a couch day, tennis final, and the footy final. Is there any F1 on Simon on Sunday? You could get that in there as well. Sky News just said Spence deal off now. Well, I talked about that yesterday, mate. Thoughts on the Bentancur situation last night? Well, if you weren't aware, Uruguay and Colombia played last night. Colombia winning 1-0 to go to the final of the Copa America to face Argentina. Bentancur went off injured, if you weren't aware. He went off injured 35 minutes in. Oh. They're doing the recycling outside. Apologies if you can hear it. It is a bit loud. Look, he went off injured 35 minutes in, which is a bit of it was a bit of a shame, to be honest, because I was hoping we'd get Bentancur back fit this season, raring to go, and showing us all the Bentancur that we all know is our best midfielder. We don't know the extent of this injury right now, but then the situation after the game, if you didn't see the Copa America game, it was pretty ugly scenes. Supposedly, drunk Colombian fans sitting near the Uruguayan sort of wives and families of the players, getting a bit rowdy, somewhat violent. And yeah, you've got Darwin Núñez in the crowd, throwing strikes, throwing kicks at fans. Bentancur's lobbing things at people. Suarez is squaring up with people. It was a very ugly situation, and a situation we just don't want to see in football. We really don't. I opened up Twitter this morning seeing that. Not what I wanted to see at sort of 7 a.m. in the morning, So, hell, opening Twitter at 7 a.m. is probably not the best thing in the world, but hey, there's that. So, hopefully, this injury is not severe or serious. It's a little something, comes back, gets fit, ready and raring to go for a Bentancur masterclass of a season. That's what we all truly want. Pen was dodgy. No F1. Oh, gutting. I thought the F1 last weekend, Daniel, was bloody good. I really enjoyed that. Verstappen obviously losing a little bit of pace. Looked like McLarens were rocking and rolling. They left Piastri out high and dry for that extra lap and lost, 15 seconds or whatever it was. Should have put Lando not on the softs because the McLaren couldn't handle it, and it was like a prime Hamilton performance. Managed his tires, and then when he wanted to let rip, nobody could get near him. So, yeah, it was a good race actually, Silverson. I quite enjoyed it. I'm glad. I'm good, Sonia. Thank you for asking. Rec, how are you, mate? I'm not going to dig you out, Rec. Obviously, if you aren't aware, Rec is a part Dutch fan. Obviously, there is more in the blood than just Dutch. I won't dig you out yesterday, mate. It was a lovely goal by Xavi Simons. I thought you guys, second half, made it such a slog for us. Ref wasn't amazing. I get that, mate. I do get that. So I'm not gonna give you banter, buddy. I'm not gonna do it. Not gonna do it. I'm gonna be a better person than that. I'm not gonna give you any banter. I'm glad you joined, though, mate. I'm glad you joined because you probably would have given me absolutely stick for it today. But yeah, I think Koeman isn't the manager for you guys. Mickey van der Ven should have played. That's my only critique. Mickey should have played, and I thought the midfield struggled. And I think had you had Frenkie de Jong, I think that would have been a different game. Lando wanted to copy Lewis on the tyre front. Yeah, he thought he could get the Mercedes, didn't he? And it backfired on him. Koeman is bad too. Yeah, he's not great. You guys play fantastic. Yeah, first half, I thought we were brilliant. But second half, it was more typical England. Olympics start soon. When do they start, Dean? Could you tell me? Where? VAR and the ref were, yeah, they weren't great, mate. They weren't. I thought overall his performance wasn't that bad, but the penalty call, it's a difficult one because it's a free kick anywhere else on the pitch. But what's Dumfries supposed to do? You know what I mean? He's got to go for it. He's not going to let Kane a free strike in 15 yards out. The race was decent. Changeable conditions just makes an F1 race more interesting and predictable. I loved it, Daniel. I loved it. Listen to Martin Brundle. Love it. Oh, it's just boring when Max has got his little rocket ship, you know? A lot of schools when it gets this, 15th of July. Oh, it starts in 4 days, is it? I saw the American NBA, the American basketball team. Yeah, I think they're in for gold quite easy. I don't know how you keep starting to Pai after how bad he's done, then take him off for a midfielder instead of Veghorst or Xerxes. Well, they were struggling in the midfield. Madzi is what I think they were doing. They wanted to put 3 in the midfield to handle Mainu, Rice, and then Foden was floating. So they wanted to try and negate that, which I do get. Joshua Xerxes should have played more though. That's another thing. Argentina, Colombia is a tasty Copa America final. Yeah, it is. That's going to be a physical match. Before that, Saka hit the ball with his hands. Yeah, it's a game of tennis, though, isn't it? Never been other strikers not fit. We only had to Pai and Veghorst. Yeah, well, Veghorst should have been booked about 3 minutes being on the pitch. He started just kicking out at people, you know. Do you think Spurs can trigger Dani Olmo deal? Can they? Yes. Will they? No. Apparently, Dani Olmo's release clause is actually not the 15th of July, the day after the Euros final. It's now the 20th. So it's extended that a little bit further. It's 60 million euros, so works out to about 53 million pounds ish. I think that'll get activated by Man City. I think that's who Man City are truly wanting. Do you think? Hi Andy, what did you make of England last night? Well, I'm going to come to that in a minute, Sophia, and I just want to get to a couple of other little transfer bits because I do want to speak about the England game as well as the England performance needed for the Spanish game. 26th of July, is it, Dean? Oh, okay. So it's in a couple of weeks' time then. You want Dani Olmo? Yeah. But still, player of the tournament is the ref and an own goal. I don't know. Player of the tournament's probably still Cody Gakpo, dude. Dani Olmo destroyed Tchouaméni. It gave Cruz a bit of an issue as well. So there was that. Right. Moving on to a little bit of the kind of fallout from the Emerson Royal situation. Because I was looking at Emerson Royal and I thought, well, do you know what? I'm going to look at fan perspective. The AC Milan fans are not happy. There was one guy who put out, and he quote tweeted the report on Joshua Xerxes and Matthias de Ligt potentially going to Man United. And he said, UEFA had signed with Brighton and Man United's green terms with Xerxes, a target we've been following for months. But it's all good because we're going to sign Tottenham reject Emerson Royal and a 32-year-old Morata. What an embarrassing club. So they're not very happy, somewhat, AC Milan fans, about the situation. I get it. I do. But yeah, for us, it looks like Emerson Royal will wind up at AC Milan. Obviously, we talked about the report about Al Nassr being interested in him. I don't think that makes any difference, you know. Right, let's move on to Fofana. So again, on Fofana from AC Milan, I want to talk about this because I want to talk about the deals that also affect us in a macro, not a micro sense. So Fofana news from Romano saying, more on Fofana's story. There are zero issues on contract, salary, or anything else between Fofana and AC Milan. Personal terms are 100% agreed as of yesterday. Monaco have also been informed by the player's agent. Despite interest from the Premier League, his priority is Milan. So obviously, this is a player that we've been linked to. It's not something that we're going to be in for anymore. It looks like that'll be something. So that'll be something that will happen to AC Milan, which I totally get, to be honest. You know, it's a shame because I quite like him, but you know what, AC Milan is a damn good club, and there's nothing wrong with wanting to go to AC Milan. It's a lovely city. You know, you're going to get Champions League football every year. There's no reason why I can't come to the Premier League in a couple of years' time, you know. I want to talk about something that affects, well, Genoa have kind of pulled themselves away from the Jed Spence deal, which I will talk about in a second. Almost no-brainer, cheaper than Eze and better player compared to Eze and Madison. I've read there could be a double deal also with Pierre or Højbjerg. Yeah, I don't know. I think Højbjerg winds up at either Atletico Madrid, because obviously he's going to be a hell of a lot cheaper than Conor Gallagher, probably about a third of the price, or if not half the price. And then I think also, well, maybe in Germany potentially with Pierre Højbjerg. Has there anything on Edison from Atalanta? No. Well, Brazil recently got knocked out of the Copa, so nothing's really happened from there. But I think he stays because I think Coop Miners still winds up at Juventus. Juventus want Todibo and they want Coop Miners. So, yeah, I would expect potentially a Bremer maybe to move on, depending on their financial situation. But definitely Chiesa will be leaving for sure. They're going to need to raise funds somewhere. Obviously, moving off of Alexandro will help wages-wise, FFP-wise, AC Milan have better scouts than us. We need new scouts. Our scouts are fine, dude. I don't know what you mean. They're doing well at the moment. Referees don't seem to know the rules themselves. Oh, yeah. Do you know what? That's one thing I would say. Who the hell knows the rules? Because I don't know the rules. I don't think any of us know the rules. Because when he hit it over, I was like, oh, gutted. And then my dad goes, is that a penalty? I went, what am I looking at? I just thought he hit it over. And then, yeah. And then I saw that and I went, it's a foul in the middle pitch, but I can't see him giving it. And then he went, oh, we're going to go check VAR. And I was like, no, there's no way they're giving this. And then he went, oh, I'm actually going to have a look. And I was like, no way. Because normally when they go to have a look at the monitor, it normally means they're going to change their decision. So, yeah. Emerson, still in 25, we get more for him. I just don't think we can, mate. I think 20 million is probably about right. I don't think we should chance our arm and think we can get 25, I'm feeling this is going to be a typical Spurs window, linked with quality or window and get youngsters and a fifth choice. But no, I don't think so, Dean. I don't think so. Archie Gray can help us this season. Yes, he's young, but he can help us this season. I don't mind us going to get really exciting young talents. It's just Man United with Delict. I like us getting young talents anyway, but I would say is we will get first teamers that will help. We would get first teamers. People talk about like Szymanski. There's nothing in that at the moment. It's all just Turkish reports trying to drum up interest for him to get a new contract, probably. Hey, Donny, right? I have shaved a little bit. It was proper bearded, so I wanted to get down to a bit of stubble, It's somewhat just more than a stubble, but, you know what I mean? It's like Romero versus Chelsea, and I saw plenty. And, yeah, do you know what? I was at that game, the Romero foul on Enzo, and he got the ball. And it's like, well, where is he? He's gone with too much force. And it's like, yeah, but it's not a dangerous tackle. And I never thought that was a penalty anyway. But the issue is now I'm so accustomed to thinking that's a penalty that anything near that, I'm like, well, that has to be a penalty because I know Bissouma and Romero get judged differently to most players, which I don't get why. It's not like they're dangerous players. But it's like with Dumfries, I'm like, it's not really a pen, but they give that foul all the time. So I can see why maybe people think it maybe is. But I've seen penalties get given for a lot less. And it's just unfortunate that sometimes maybe a game can get decided by that, I wish Spurs can sign Eze, Tony, and Chiesa. Well, I think potentially one of those. Annie, would you take Yilmaz at Spurs? No, I wouldn't. Funny thing is that the ref can stick with his on-field decision even if he goes to the monitor. He just didn't have the ball to. Well, that's the thing. Michael Oliver did that, didn't he? For us towards the back end of the season. So it is possible. Didn't think that Romero was a penalty either. Nah. I think Anne should try Romero and CDM. He's a ball-playing centre defender. See, yeah, Nuha, I've got a pretty definitive view on this one. If you've got a world-class player, and Romero is world-class at centre-back, if you've got a world-class player, keep the world-class player in his natural position and then build around that. So go and get a 6 who will help him. Go and get a 6 who can do what you would want him to do. That's my view on it, personally. And I also think there's no reason to play 3 centre-halves all the time. Let's rotate those centre-halves. Let's keep them fresh, keep them fit, It's coming home, Marshall says. Ooh, why did they not use the VAR for the handball of Cucurella? Well, apparently VAR didn't want to have a look at it, which I thought was bonkers. That's what I mean, Rec. You can see things being given penalty-wise that for a lot less. And I thought the Cucurella one, his arm's over here. And he's bringing his arm in, which I get. He's trying to bring his arms close, but he's also slapped the ball. So I get it. I do, Rec, I feel your pain, dude. That's why I'm not giving you any stick. I feel your pain, dude. Do you think Jacob Ramsey link is still viable? Yes. Ange doesn't play 6. He plays technical midfielders, and the aim is to control the game. We need to bring in that players that improve the attack. Can't watch Kulu mess about in the final third anymore to be predictable. Richarlison misses too much chances to an assistant. Well, I like Richie, I like Kulu, but we need bodies in there that are going to make them work harder for their positions, make them work harder to perform. I don't mind them. We need quality in there. I agree with you, though. And we will, by the way, mate. We will. Anyone that thinks we're not going to improve the attack, we will. The attack will be improved, I promise. Kane or Bellingham for the Ballon d'Or? He'll probably be giving it to Bellingham because he won the Champions League. There needs to be a big change. Oh, yeah. Who would you get in that 6 now, Andy? That Fofana's going to... I'd take a Nana from Everton. I want that physical beast. Because watching England last night, having to defend crosses and corners to the big boys of Holland, I was like, oh, this... I mean, it wasn't... Do you know what's so funny? It was Dumfries that was giving us all the issues. It wasn't like a Van Dijk or a Weghorst, which was hilarious. But I was thinking, yeah, do you know what we could do? We could do with... At Spurs, if we've got 2 centre-half, we could do with one more big boy. And I thought Bentancur might be that, but I'm not sure Bentancur is that kind of guy. Whereas go get a Nana, he'll help you a lot, you know. We should get players for our pre-season. Well, we might get one before pre-season starts. Obviously, that's in 6 days, but you know, we'll improve. Don't worry, we will improve. I'm not sad they did the same in the Dutch versus Turkey match. Yeah, it's just been awful, mate. Been awful. Who do you reckon is the next signing? Do you know what, Nuha? I couldn't tell you, mate. The next sale will be Emerson, but I couldn't tell you who it's going to be. Gakpo hit Mulder. No to Onana apparently, for Spurs for life. Rice was horrible yesterday. Just proves how Erdogan and Jorginho held his hand this season. Caleb, I don't think it was that bad. Yeah, he gave the ball away a few times, and yet maybe the foul, he should have been a bit stronger. But I think overall, Rice had a solid game. You know, let's not pick on the players. Just let's just be happy we won. You know what I mean? It's like Mark Goldbridge slagging off Kane every 3 seconds because he just doesn't like Kane because Kane mugged off Man United and didn't want to go to him. It's like, mate, just live in the moment. We won the game. Just be happy. Just be happy. We won the game. You know what I mean? It's like people slagging off like Bellingham. I'm like, look, we won the game. Just be happy for it. You know? What caused him to score an own goal? Oh. No Spurs player in England. Well, technically there are Spurs players in England because Tottenham are in England, mate. Kane is liability. You're a Man United fan. You've got Rasmus Højlund. Just worry about yourself, dude. It was a purple patch when Son was away. I'm not sold on Richarlison. Well, we'll see this season. We gave Lamella 3 seasons, you know. There's no reason why we can't give Richarlison 3 seasons. I believe Bentancur is world-class, if not for his injuries. Yeah, it's just need to get him fit. You know what I mean? Me too, still very high on Onana. Yeah, Due might be next signing, potentially, but then he's at the Olympics, so it makes it a bit tougher, you know. Yeah, Kobe Mainoo was very good yesterday. He was very good. Very, very good. Kane's been crap, let's be honest. Glad you don't understand football. Kane has died, played 6+ games. Kane's the best striker in the world, and it's not even a competition. Bellingham should have, because he won the Champions League. Vinicius won it if Brazil went to the final Copa America. Yeah, well, yeah, they mucked that up, didn't they? Same for Belly and other players. Where's Wharton? He never gets substituted. Yeah, well, I don't think Southgate's too keen on him. I don't want to hear that he's too young, by the way, as well. Like, he's obviously not too young. You got Yamal, who's a teenager, and not even like an old teenager. He's a mid-aged teenager doing business for Spain and as their best player, you know? Well, second best player. Rodri's still their best player. Chances of England to beat Spain. Do you know what, dude? It's 90 minutes. You're in the game. You've always got a chance. No matter what the side is. You can be a non-league side and you've always got a chance against any Premier League team. It's just things sometimes might need to go your way. And we've got to come out of the traps. We can't let Spain do what they have done to other teams. We've got players that can get on the ball. We've got players that can knock that ball around. Phil Foden. You've got Phil Foden, John Stones, and Kyle Walker that play for Man City, a possession-based team. You've got Rice, who plays for a possession-based team. You know, you've got Kobe Mainoo, who doesn't, because Man United don't know how to play football at times. But you've got Kobe Mainoo, who can get on the ball and do stuff. You know, you've got Bellingham, who plays for Real Madrid, possession-based team. You know, Mark Guay for Crystal Palace, they're developing into being one of those teams. You know, you've got all these players that can do it. We shouldn't be afraid to go and get on the ball and do our stuff, you know. And actually, if Spain want to press us and we can get through that press, that's a wide open space for, you know, Saka and Foden and Bellingham and Kane to do stuff. Just got to get past Rodri. That's really what we'll do. I think Lamine Yamal will give you big problems. Well, he will. If Kane didn't score, you say England would not go to the final. Well, we technically got extra time, wouldn't we, Narek? Hi, Andy, everyone. Hey, Aussie Spur, how are you, mate? Even though Bentancur is quality, would you sell him before he might become a Lascelles? Very injury prone, then not being able to shift. Well, Dean, I think the injury prone is probably a bit too early to be giving him, though, because his injuries last season were 2 big ones. This also gets this little small ones. That was his first season where he had well, not even injury prone. He just had 2 big ones from the season before, and that big one of his ankle last season. And he came back from those injuries early to play for the team. That's the other thing. He wants to play for the team. You know, Lo Celso doesn't come back early from these niggling injuries. He's actually out longer than everyone else thinks. So Bentancur's got the right mentality for this side, and I love him. So maybe in a year or 2's time if we still have issues, but right now I'm not. No way. How could Kane be the best striker in the world when every time he's pulled off, a different striker on his own team saves the team's bacon? Well, Robert, let's break it down like this. Ollie Watkins is not doing what he did yesterday from starting from minute 1. He did it against a very tired defence. Now, Ollie Watkins, great. Before someone jumps down my throat, he's great. But if you've got a fresh Van Dijk and a fresh Stefan de Vrij, and you've got the guys in front of him, they can handle that a lot more. Kane has knackered them out. And actually, Kane played pretty decently in the first half. He knackered them out so that when Watkins does come on, and, you know, when you do see, you know, Palmers and stuff come on, you're playing against a tired team. Kane does more for this team than people seem to realise. That's all I'm going to say. I believe Kane's playing bad because of injury. Well, yesterday he didn't play bad. The other games he maybe struggled, but he didn't play bad yesterday. Congrats, England. Really thought Holland would win, though. Well, after the first, 8 minutes, I thought the same as well. I hate Southgate, but I back players. I grew up watching us fail and go out in semi and quarterfinals. Also failed to qualify for major tournaments under Graham Taylor and Steve McLaren. Well, one thing I would say is karma is a hell of a thing, and Ronald Koeman did say he should have been sent off back in the 90s against us. So swings around about. England have been screwed at so many different tournaments. It's about time we had a bit of luck go our way. And sorry for Rec, because unfortunately you're the team that has to pay that price. But Kane did enough. He may not hit the levels he should, but he's not the only one who has this problem at the moment. Well, also with Kane as well, you're telling me a guy who's got 60-odd goal contributions this season, he's the problem. Let's put that into a nutshell. He has over 60 goal contributions this season. Apparently, he's the problem. He's not the problem. He's not the problem. He wasn't a problem at Bayern Munich. He was the reason they did as well as they did. He's not the problem. It would be the system around him that doesn't work. And also, do you know what? I thought he actually did all right against Holland yesterday. I thought he held up the ball well, won free kicks. Hey, scored a goal. He was getting on the ball. I thought he was all right yesterday. Second half, people go, he's rubbish again. He's rubbish. It's like, okay, well, Bellingham wasn't good. Rice wasn't good. Mainu wasn't good. Well, Mainu was all right, actually. He probably was all right. But, Saka wasn't good in the second half. It was a bad second half for us. I'll tell you who did play bloody well. John Stones, Mark Guehi. What a bloody good pairing they've been in this tournament. What a bloody good pairing they've been. Spain is very good, but England's very lucky, so we're definitely in with a chance. Look, we're going to have to be at it against Spain. We're going to need a few things probably to go our way as well. He's 100% hurt. Yeah, I don't think he's fit, personally. I don't think he's fit. But that's the hilarious thing. He's not even fit, and he's still the top goal scorer in the tournament. How amazing is that? Wait for someone to go, there's penalties involved. If Lamar plays right wing, Walker's play left wing. No, see, Walker's not good with tricky players. Eden Hazard, remember that. He's not good with tricky players. You want Nico Williams, who's got pace. That's who you want him against. You just need to be able to slide defensive work over towards that side if necessary, For all the non-Spurs fans, if you've watched him, he's injured. Yeah, he's not right. He's not right. People please don't believe in karma. What happened yesterday was destiny. And he's Kane's glazed and his crazy accepted dude. Sometimes players play bad. I've said he didn't play well this tournament, but he wasn't bad yesterday. So if that's glazing, then sorry, dude. Every football fan in the world glazes. Yeah, the second half wasn't good. Yeah, it wasn't. It was awful to watch. I think we'll play well against Spain and they'll attack us like Holland did in the first half. It's only the second half where Holland changed tactics and played low block and counter-attack. Yeah, Holland made that game in the second half, made that game proper dicey. Potentially, though. Totally agree with Kane. Debate. Mustard defence are so worried about him. They can't sustain a Watkins or a Tony. Well, that's the beautiful thing. You bring on one of those two boys. Yes, it changes the dynamic of the game, but they don't affect the game as well as they would from the first minute. You've got the world's best striker there People go, well, people would rather play against Kane than they would Ollie Watkins. Yeah, maybe. But can you imagine throwing Ollie Watkins in the 80th minute when you're a little bit tired and he just wants to run around like a headless chicken? You've got to take that into account, Rodri doesn't lose many games of football when he plays. He doesn't. He does not, Daniel. So is the England curse a thing for him, maybe? Yamal got pace too. No, I'm not saying he doesn't have pace, but he's not Nico Williams kind of quick. So put our quick player on their quick player. And then, I think Shaw probably starts the next game, actually. I think Shaw will start. You slide someone over to give him a support, And then that should hopefully be enough. Or stick tight to him. Because whenever Hernandez stuck tight to him, he didn't do as well. It's when he dropped off him and allowed him space, then he caused carnage. Any chance Tyrese Hall can come on Mainu? We already have a Mainu. It's Pape Matar. Could we have another one? Potentially. Everyone want to know the real problem with England. The manager, new one needed, even if they beat Spain, which I cannot see happening, Andy. I cannot see happening. Spain for me, Andy. Well, look, I think this will be his last tournament for sure. I think it will be. It has to be. I mean, eight major tournaments, or whatever he's done. No, he's been in charge for 8 years. He's done 4 major tournaments, I think. Too many now. Fresh face needed. If Kane wins the Euro, well, you never know. I was impressed by Foden. Yeah, first half Foden was brilliant. And it was always like, oh, do you know what? If you play Foden centrally off the right, he's actually quite good. Shock. Who's your man of the match? Well, they gave it to Ollie Watkins for the goal. But I might say someone like John Stones or Mark Guay. I thought they were brilliant again. Mark Guay's had a bloody good tournament. Obviously, we all know John Stones is an absolute Rolls Royce at the back, but Mark Guay, what a tournament he's had. Scotland did beat Spain in the qualifiers. Well, yeah, there is that. What happened to the 5-minute videos? We do lives at the moment, mate. That's what we're doing. It's just more efficient for me, ironically. You'd think it's not, but it is. Ollie Watkins is a headless chicken. Same style as Cavani. Cavani mustard. Gray will trump Mainu. I don't think Shaw would start. Southgate would trip it. Maybe. If England wins, Southgate stays. But if England, don't give me that debacle on my head. Gray, man of the match for me. He's been him and John Stones, player of the tournaments. They've been bloody good. But yes, obviously back later on 7 p.m. Next stream, obviously up talking more Spurs and more chance to talk. Obviously, thank you all so much for joining me in this video. Really do appreciate it. Apologies that I was late. And yes, I will see you all in about 6 hours' time to talk some more Spurs. Thanks very much, everyone, joining me. I'll see you all later. Take care.